what's up guys? It's Dragster Dude here again with ThemePark OverLoad, and I'm going to bring you a new segment that I'll be doing. I released a segment yesterday and it was on the RMC mean streak, so definitely if you haven't seen that, check that out. But today I'm going to be doing a to-do list is what I call it, so 5 things Cedar Point should do. Now in no means is this what, it's like a 5-year plan, that's not what it is. It's just my opinion on what they should do to make their park the best. And so let's get started here with number 5. So basically for number 5, what I'm thinking is just some small park improvements, maybe a new show. What I like about Cedar Point is they have mostly traveling shows. They kind of go around the park in just smaller bands or whatever. So I love Luminosity. It's a great show. The All Wheels Extreme is pretty cool. But I love how they just have little shows that kind of go around you can listen to throughout the day, so you don't have to take time out of your day to go watch it. So just some small park improvements, maybe some different improvements around the park, painting on some of the smaller rides, just small stuff like that. Alright, so number 4, the next thing we have coming up, and I think that's kind of a big one. I probably should have put it lower, but I'm going to say Soak City expansion. Now, we've seen this happen. It just happened at Kings Island. It happened at Kings Dominion, and they have these really cool slide towers going up with the trapdoor slides. I think those are really cool. And Cedar Point just, I mean, their slides are good, but they have nothing extremely thrilling at their park. I'd say the biggest thriller is either Zoom Flume or Dragster H2O, and we all know those aren't very scary. They're just fun slides. Cedar Point needs something that's pretty thrilling, that really gets your adrenaline going, and I think a Soak City expansion with these new slide towers they're putting up, this would be a great expansion for Cedar Point, and this is something they really need. Alrighty, so moving on to number 3. Now this is one I think everybody's going to be agreeing with, is we all know Magnum. It's a fun ride, but one problem with it is all those fun airtime hills at the end, the really small ones that really kind of jerk you, it really hurts your legs because of the cars and the restraints. So I'm thinking that Magnum needs new trains, kind of like what they did with some other rides out there at Cedar Fair. It needs new trains, it needs like an overhaul, maybe some new paint. I still think Magnum's a great ride, it just needs new trains that have better restraints so that when you go over those fun small airtime hills at the end through the tunnels, it won't hurt so bad. New trains would make Magnum a much more enjoyable ride, and it'd make it much more for families, and it wouldn't hurt as bad when you go over those airtime hills that kind of whip you upwards. Okay, so number 2 and number 1 are the biggies, and I think these are the biggest ones that concern people, and number 2 has to do with Wicked Twister. Now, I've been there a few times in the past couple of years, and every time I go, out of like the 6 times I've tried to ride it, I've only gotten to ride Wicked Twister once. It's always broken down. And even though it's a fun ride, I think there's some better things they can do with that spot of land. Now, the thing that I'm suggesting, and I think this would be really cool, we've seen these go around at a lot of Six Flags parks, is a 4D free fly coaster by S&S. Now, these are great coasters. They're thin. They don't take a lot of land outwards like Wicked Twister, but they're long, just like Wicked Twister. So I think one would fit in that spot, definitely. And Wicked Twister just breaks down so much. It's not the best ride at the park. It's still pretty fun with the launch and going straight up, but I think a 4D free fly coaster would be much more thrilling to go in that spot. I think it would get much more people to ride it. They don't break down nearly as much, and I think it would just overall be a better ride for that spot in the park. And finally, for number 1, and this is what I talked about in my video that came out yesterday, the RMC of Mean Streak. Now, we need to go straight to RMC. I am not looking at GCI or Topper Track. I'm looking to go straight to RMC, go straight with the iBox track or the Raptor track, but we're seeing more of the iBox right now. Go straight to that, get some cool inversions on Mean Streak, and see what RMC can do with this. Because overall, it's not a terrible wooden coaster. The problem is it's so rough, and I mean, the elements are okay. It's pretty fast, but one problem with it is those brakes at the top of the lift hill, and then the mid-course brake runs. Those both kill your momentum. But I mean, the drop is it's a pretty tall wooden coaster. It's got some good overbank turns. Definitely, though, RMC could come in and just multiply all these elements by 5, and then it would just make it so much better. It'd be one of the best coasters at the park. I'd probably put it in the top 5 if RMC came in and did a great job like they've done with a lot of other coasters. As Twisted Colossus, that was a great ride. That started out as a good wooden roller coaster, but then RMC came in and just threw it out of the park. It was just great, and I'd like to see something like that with Mean Streak. I don't think GCI is in the question. I think they need to go straight to RMC. Alrighty, so those have been the top 5 things I think Cedar Point should do. If you would like to switch up the numbers, or you think I should switch something out with something, definitely leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're putting out new videos every week and almost every day, so please subscribe, and see you later.